Okay, so the sprint car world was introduced to a new tyre by predominant brand Hoosier back in March. It was always going to take a little while to find out what the drivers and teams thought of the new rubber. Now, after some big wrecks recently, the quality, consistency, and safety of this new tyre has become a hot topic. In this video, I'm gonna break it all down for you. Let's start with what I guess are the two main questions. Firstly, why? And secondly, what's different? As for why, Hoosier's Dirt Oval business manager, Neil Cowman, was quoted as saying, "The tread designs and molds we've been using in sprint cars, they're getting very outdated. They are roughly 25 years old, this design. Taking the mold in and out of the presses, it's a lot of wear and tear." Basically, with the tooling due for a freshen up, it made sense to make some tweaks to the tyre construction as well. So what about the new tyres is different? While there were only a handful of changes, they all have massive implications.
Do you realize the implications of your actions right now?
What's the implication mean?
I can't emphasize enough the importance of tires on a race car. Remember, tires are the only part of the car that touch the ground. There's a very good reason why one of the 3 full-time crew guys is just the tire guy, who focuses solely on mounting, inflating, dismounting, measuring, growing, siping, grooving, and analyzing just tires. Let's quickly go through the changes. First up, the tread pattern. The tread is now symmetrical, whereas the old tire was not. More holes were added to the center blocks, which not only allow heat to escape, preventing blistering and chunking, but also reduces wear, extending the life of the tire. Number 2, no more camber. Not many fans would know this, but the old tire was also cambered or tapered. The new tire is not, so it can be mounted either way, further extending tire life. The old version of tire had the white Hoosier paint on just the outside, but now it's on both sides. Number 3, the compound. The left rear tire compound has stayed the same, whilst the right rear has gotten slightly harder. Number 4, the sidewall. Getting a little more technical, the sidewalls of the tires have also changed. The left rear tire is slightly softer, whilst the right rear is slightly stiffer. And lastly, the circumference options. The right rear tire hasn't changed, with it still being available in the 105-inch size, but the left rears are now available in 92-inch, 93-inch, 94-inch, and 96-inch sizes. From the outside, these changes certainly seem like a good thing, and at the very least seem to have good intentions.
But we can't blame you, because you have good intentions.
But whilst none of this means that Hoosier doesn't care, it also doesn't necessarily mean that they got it right. While I'm not sure everyone 100% agrees on the impact of the new tyres, from all of the research I've done, speaking with crews and drivers, there seems to be 3 main concerns: quality, safety, and consistency. The tyre changes was something I was really interested to learn more about when heading to the Knoxville Nationals this year. So I asked defending champ Donnie Schatz and soon to be 2-time champ Kyle Larson for their thoughts on the tyres. Here's what they had to say.
You know, it's one of them things that we got what we got. We can't change them. We complain about them all day long, and I'm sure plenty of people do, but you just have to adjust. You know, you go for the same feel. You know, the tires do have the cars stuck harder in some spots, and it frees them up in others. And I don't think it's affected our performance too much with the tires. I mean, most of our stuff's been just not being being able to get qualified and race both. You know, and that's just stuff we're trying to get the motor program solid and get a good balance for short tracks and big tracks. And you know, sometimes we've taken some steps sideways and backwards to try to get that happening. So, but the tires, everybody's really got the same thing, and we'll just do our best to try to counter it.
They feel definitely different. The right rear just feels like stiffer and harder and less grip. I feel like the left rear tire, I don't know if it grows or whatever when you get wheel spin, but I feel like you have to watch your wheel spin a lot more with these combo tires. So it took some adjusting to, I think, in the beginning, but I feel like we've had a great season, so we've adjusted well.
Those two touched on the differences, but delving deeper into the quality of racing and then the safety was Shark Racing's Bobby Allen, who posted this over the weekend. It read, "Tyres of 2023. My observation on the new tyres this year are that they run looser unless you're on the cushion, and then sometimes too much grip, and then they're stuck too hard. I've seen more violent crashes this year than I've ever seen before because the drivers are a little bit out of control with the tires. They are all fine when running the top until they are all fighting for the same spot of moisture. It is hard to believe you have seen a season with this many violent crashes and first lap crashes and heat feature crashes. We've been very lucky on people not getting hurt. The cars seem to handle out of control. The bad crashes are because of drivers racing hard and the tires are creating bad handling cars that are hard to control. They take away some of the security in the car. You are seeing a lot more races that do not have multiple grooves this season, usually a fight to the top and who can throw the biggest slider and pray you clear them. Lots of drivers agree and back up what I'm saying. You can't really blame teams and drivers wanting to speak out about it because, like I said in one of our Knoxville videos, carrying crazy speeds into the turn at any speedway and having a tire blow is pretty damn scary, just like we saw with the wrecks from Brad Sweet and James McFadden. I wanted to hear the opinion of another outlaw driver who got back to me with this. I think the new tires has caused us to be much more grip dependent. I feel like certain tracks that we used to be able to roll the bottom in the slick when the top got too far around don't really happen much anymore. So yeah, I'd say we use up the grip on the bottom until it's gone and then we all just run the grip up top, which I feel has created races with less passing. I then asked his thoughts on the safety of the tire, to which he said, "Nah, I don't think it really has many ties to safety. Maybe there is more crashes because they are all chasing the grip, but not like a ton more." As for the consistency of the tires, this issue was brought to me when speaking with a crew chief. He said, "Personally, I'm not super against it. I feel it is changing though with every batch. Like the start of the year tire seems different than the current round of tires. It just makes everyone's jobs harder, which is fine. The good teams will adjust accordingly. It does seem to have more grip when against the curb, just makes it hard to set your car up when it's slick to a curb basically. The only thing I have a problem with is them changing sizes. I'll roll out with 12 inches of stagger and it's nothing for it to come in at 11 inches because the left rear grew or something crazy. I also asked if they were flipping the tires much. Yeah, and honestly we aren't flipping much. Same as last year where they wear out and you won't have enough tread to flip. Still part of the game though. So there you have it. I've spoken with drivers and crews, but I'd love to hear what you think as a fan watching. Does the number of tyre blowouts and wrecks concern you? Do you feel that the racing is better or worse since the new tyre was introduced? Comment below because I'd love to read your thoughts. Thanks for watching everyone. Hey everyone, Toby here from Sprint Car Hub. If you're watching this, you must like our videos, but I guarantee you'll love our merchandise. The best fans in sprint car racing deserve the best hats, jackets, hoodies, shirts, beanies, drink bottles, stickers, and we've got all of that and more. So when you're done enjoying this video, make sure to treat yourself to our premium custom-made gear over at sprintcarhub.com. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to the Sprint Car Hub YouTube channel.